So on another scorching hot weekend, let's take a look around the garden, see what's coping, and surprisingly, let's see what's struggling a little bit under this heat. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. We'll start with the bananas. So no surprise there, they are looking absolutely fantastic. Quite a bit of wind damage where I live, so we've got quite a few shredded leaves, but the plants underneath, the young bananas and also the brugmansia, is still doing very, very well. As we move around the bed, we've got gingers on the end and then hardy grasses just to the left hand side of there, and also this fatsia japonica just in the corner, bottom right hand corner, that is doing absolutely fantastic considering it's in pretty much full sun all day. Even though they are quite a shade loving plant, this seems to be doing fantastic in full sun. Moving around the garden though, this one is not looking so great. So after spending the day in our capital in London, saw some really fantastic stuff, but I didn't actually get a chance to water up last night, and it's certainly, you can tell with the gunnerer. Now this will pick up, but I have noticed my variety Tinctoria, and I'm sure it's the same for the other varieties, even if I seem to miss 1 or 2 days of watering on a particularly hot day, then the leaves completely collapse to the floor. And I must admit, a bit of a shock this morning as I've looked, because I didn't get the opportunity yesterday. It'll soon pick up. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a water now, and then we'll continue around the garden. And also quickly, I want to give you my thoughts on this potential hosepipe ban that the whole of the UK could be getting.
Three hours later.
Now this is a part of the garden that I've actually spent some time on this year, created this corner with a little bit of shade from the new summer house, and I think it looks pretty great. Everything in this corner is doing fantastic, and we'll go through some of the plants that are in here as well. From right to left, we have canna lilies, we have bananas, which are doing great, both really warm loving plants. We have small red banana again, we have castor oil plants. Just here, hosepipe in the corner, which I'm starting to propagate some of those. Another brugmansia with the same issue, the wilting flower, but again tonight it'll look fantastic. More canna lilies and then ferns along the front. This beautiful pink flower here, that's osteospermum. I picked that up as like a summer bedder, but you can overwinter them in some places of the UK. So everything in this corner is looking great, but as you can see, it does have dappled shade, and I think it looks really great for it. Last year this was just open to all the elements as one straight border, so I'm really pleased with the way that's come on. So we'll just take a second to appreciate this hosepipe. So this is actually only 2 years old. So the first season it put on around about 3 feet, and it's done the same again, and we're only in July. So this is going to be an absolute monster. I have planted it in a pot because they are a running variety of tree. So that means that they'll pop up pretty much everywhere in your garden. Certainly when you go to give them a hard prune back, or you decided you want to do some pruning on it, that's when it puts signals down to the root systems to say, right, we're going to make some baby plants out of this. So that is in a pot for me, and that will stay in a pot just like the one in the other corner. But I'm absolutely over the moon with that. That looks fantastic. So I can really start to see the garden finally get some height. With it only being just over 12 months old, it's been pretty tricky to get some decent height in the garden from a perennial or a hardy stance, because I've got height through annuals like my castor oil plants, but this will be year on year now. Very excited about that. So let's take a look around the tetrapanax and some other of the plants in the garden. So as we start on the left hand side border, the Carexa grasses are doing fantastic, and they really don't seem to struggle at all. Cordylines loving this sunshine, and so is the tetrapanax. Now this has had buckets of water, and when they are young they are a little bit temperamental with water on the root systems, because the root system can be a little bit temperamental. However, in this heat, coping very well and putting out some really strong growth. Obviously, the pond behind that, which is going to get moved this winter, is going to be my Trachycarpus fortunei. So that's one to stick around for. We're going to have a little bit of a move in this bed. As things start maturing, I'm going to start moving a few things around. But again, it's looking fantastic. So moving around this bed, I'll be honest, everything in this border is coming on fantastically well. We've got lots of crocosmia, which will be split up this year in a new video to how to split these up. We have, surprisingly, we have another Fatsia japonica. This is in a shaded bed, as you can see. It has full sun from around 11:30, and this doesn't do as well. Now, everything you read about the Fatsia japonica is they're a shade loving plant, and that's something I genuinely believed. However, my sun loving one is doing far better than this one. But this has had 2 or 3 winters now of setbacks in the garden. As you can see, it's put out growth here and there from when it's had frost damage. But that's just a really interesting note. So in here I have planted more bananas so we can get some height again. Red banana, which I've picked up recently, done a comparison video. Then moving around, we have some sambuca, black sambucas, more cordylines, and also the crocosmia are absolutely loving this sunshine. In the greenhouse border now, and the tetrapanax is doing fantastic. It's the only one I managed to save out the 3 smaller ones, and then everything else in the border is doing exactly what it should be doing as well, looking great. So it comes as no surprise that the one plant that's really struggling in the garden is a marginal plant, so it really does love the water. I'm not worried about it, but it was a little bit of a shock this morning. It's about the first time it's actually done that, but I have kept on top of the watering. Now with that, it does look like we could potentially be on track for a hosepipe ban here in the UK, and how we're going to battle that as gardeners. So for me, simply, I am going to play by the rules. I will have water butts at the ready from the little bit of rainfall that we have had. Now this is just going to be for the pots like the brugmansias and maybe the tomatoes and things like that, but the main beds we're just gonna leave and see how they get on. I know I don't try and water every night. There's certain plants that do need it, like the potted plants and things like that, but for the main garden I don't tend to water every night anyway, so they should be absolutely fine. The Rustiphina in the pots behind me and the one in the corner, with them being in pots, they will get a water, and they watered quite often. But I'm going to play by the rules, and then let's see how we go. Hey, but I don't think it's anything to worry about, even if we do get one. So if you did enjoy it, bit of a waffling one for you today, bit of a look around. But if you did enjoy it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out, and drop a comment down below, as it helps share it out to others who love gardening just like we do. Right, but until next time, we'll see you in the garden. Take care.